Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and thank you for sticking around is what I wanted to say. Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. This is your player ranking show with me on the board. We want to see who's been boss, who's signed, and are you messing? Liverpool are top of the league, and I am not messing about that. This is what we do. Title runnings, this is what it's all about. I know a lot of people are celebrating all of the Easter festivities today, and they'll be waiting and tucking into a Sunday roast, probably kicking back, watching City and Arsenal at some point. But right now, you're tuned into the best fan channel in the world. It is here, Redmen TV, with your boy Errol. So let's jump straight into it with Kelleher. I thought he was sound, not going to lie, didn't have a lot to do. Don't think he could do much of the first goal. Comes at him, absolute thunderbolt from Danny Welbeck. Got to give him a lot of credit for that, to be fair. It was an exceptional finish. But I thought Kelleher was sound. Let me know in the chat if you think otherwise, though, however. But I didn't think he was bad at all. Yeah, Dijk read there straight away, straight off the bat, says he was sound. He gives him a 7 as well, to be fair. But yeah, well, we're not ranking them with numbers, but I'm going to say he was sound in this performance to me today, Kelleher. I think there was a few smart bits of distribution and collecting the ball when the ball was popped into the box, as well as a big stop. I think it was Luis Diaz's header that was looking to creep into the back post. Thought he did exceptionally well there. So yeah, Dijk comes back and says, actually, he was sound. I know. I'll let you off. I will let you off there, Dijk. Don't you worry, my guy. Yeah, he was just sound. Okay, let's see. Who next? Conor Bradley. I thought he had probably one of the more difficult afternoons he's had in the red shirt so far in his Liverpool career, which isn't bad. I think you're still cutting your teeth. I still think there's a lot to learn. There's still a lot of the game that he needs to get his head around defensively. But I think going forward, he's a constant threat. I thought he was probably better than Salah going forward. Defensively, he was probably just Salah. So he's hovering on the line there for me, really. It wasn't his best performance in terms of his defensive solidity, but in terms of going forward and being a bit of an outlet for us and driving us up the pitch, I thought he was exceptional at doing that at times today. So I thought Conor Bradley was Salah. Everything Gucci says, he was boss. Free Django says, what did he say? Salah for Bradley. I think he didn't really make too many mistakes. Yeah, I think a couple of people said I agree there as well. Dino says I agree. Bradley, I think going forward, if I had to give him a number, I'd say going forward, he was about a 7 or 8. Defensively, he was probably about a 5 or a 6 today. So again, it's probably not one where I would. It's definitely not one where I'd say he was just sad. I thought there was a lot of boss things in his game today, especially going forward. He's probably unlucky there. Probably could have had an assist. Probably should have set somebody else up. But his forward play and how his anticipation to get us up the pitch, I think, is really important to a big build and block for us down that right-hand side, which we know it has been for years in this Jurgen Klopp system for a while now. He's good in the tackle. He is very brave on the ball as well. So it was a high sound for me. I'll be honest with you. He's probably just bordering around boss. But again, another good performance from the young lad. Who else was alongside him? The young Errol Quansah there, ladies and gentlemen. Another one. For me personally, I thought he was good. I thought he was. He as well had to cover for Bradley quite a bit in the first half. I think both of them would lacked and showed that little bit of naivety in the game, a little bit of inexperience. However, as the game went on, he grew into the game. He makes a really good recovery run into that second half as well, when we kind of got control of the game a little bit more. But again, shows he's got that presence, he's strong. I think there was a few opportunities in the first half where he could have brought the ball out, which we've seen him do in the past, but he was a little bit hesitant to do so. Probably played within himself a little bit, maybe a touch. Might be being a little bit harsh on him in that sense there. But we've got a couple of people saying, Rue says Saud, MDS says boss, Quansah Saud, Dickie Oi Red. He might end up being the one there. Errol was boss. His recovery pace was phenomenal. Yeah, I could probably go for a low boss there for him, to be honest. Probably just slightly above Bradley's performance, but I think the two working in tandem together there, helping each other out, becoming a little bit of a partnership over on that right-hand side of the defence for us. It probably did work to our advantage in the end, and it came good. And of course, when you win games, you're always going to get better ratings, because we can rave on about you, can't we? Virgil van Dijk, ladies and gentlemen, almost got into a little bit of fisticuffs with his fellow countrymen. At one point, I really said to him, yo, you got to fuck about, you're going to find out. Virgil van Dijk, again, imperious. what he does for this team and the belief and confidence that he gives all the players in front of him is nothing short of miraculous. He is such an iconic figure for this Liverpool team at the moment in the way that he defends the ball, the way that he marshals us up the pitch, the way that he's such a good talker and he's intelligent with himself on the ball and some of the switches of play. I think he was not necessarily playing within himself today, but I think he was quite controlled in a game where Liverpool as a team didn't have a lot of control. He never really looked flustered at times. He almost kind of gets drawn into a little bit of argy-bargy, but he comes out of it unscathed. Does pick up a yellow card for something that was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I've got a couple of people, Dino saying Van Dijk was boss. Free Django also says, still calm and composed though. Yeah, he really was. And everything Gucci says, low, boss, high sound. Yeah, again, it wasn't one of the performances where he had to do too much more. I thought for all of Brighton's good play in and around their box and being able to pray out from the back and all the rest of it, I don't really think they stuck it on us in any real sense. There was a late flurry from them where they seemed a little bit interested towards the latter part of the second half, but outside of that, I think we kept them quite quiet at times. Who else have we got? Joe Gomez. Inverted a lot today. He seemed to do the reverse of what Trent's done from that right-hand side, and he inverted himself, found himself quite centrally in those positions. For me, I thought Joe Gomez was sound. I don't really think there was much I could rave on about in terms of his performance. But again, giving us that little bit of solidity over on that left-hand side. He kept Lamptey very quiet, which is probably one of the biggest compliments that I can look to give him. So for that reason, yeah, I would suggest that he was just in and amongst the sound ones today for me, Joe Gomez. Like, just because I'm putting him there doesn't mean he was like a low sound either. Van Dijk doesn't want to stay there. He wants to be further up, doesn't he? He wants to be the boss. Endo, I thought he was boss, though. Genuinely, one of the first nailed on bosses of the game for me, Endo, today. I just thought he was exceptional in the tackle, the way he moves the ball forward for us, the way he reads and screens the game. I did say in the build-up that he would just kind of sit in between Van Dijk and Quansah at times and just kind of operate as a bit of a three-man in defence, and he does that. He screens it so well. He's good in the tackle. He does get a tactical foul and a yellow card later on in the game, but again, he does it for the team, and he's forever a workhorse and ever present in that sense. Got a couple of people there saying, yeah, boss. Don't think anybody's put anything yet. Jamison says boss as well. Everyone really in the chat kind of all on the same page there with me. Patrick O'Hare says boss. Who else? Well, we're about to come on to this guy, Scott, so you've just segued us in nicely, if I'm being honest. Will it let me pick it up? No, don't think it will. Okay, either way, there it is. This guy's big shout for the man of the match. Early shout for man of the match for Alexis Mac Allister. In a league of his own today, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely bossed it. He really did. He pulled the strings. He knows this Brighton team inside out, like the back of his hand. I've already said that. But the way that he dictates the play, he's got that long ball over the top where he can just clip it over the defence and he can find that run. If you time that run perfectly, he will find you. But he's also got that 5 to 10 yard pass where it's almost very nonchalant. It's as if he's not looking too much at you. He gives you the eyes, gives the defender the eyes, and just plays it the other way. And in doing that, he can cut open the defence. And that's what he was able to do to set up Salah for the second goal. And again, Mo Salah, that had been a little bit wasteful, but that was a chance that even Salah could not spew and waste in any way, shape or form. So I was really impressed with his performance today. Again, I do believe he has become the heartbeat of this Liverpool midfield. He really has taken games by the scruff of the neck in recent weeks. He's really found his own little groove and his rhythm, and he's just started to ball out and show that he oozes absolute quality on the ball. I think his numbers in the last couple of games have been ridiculous. Goals and assists, really, in number of his last 8. He's really become such an integral part of that midfield. Being able to move him further up, give him that opportunity to roam and license anywhere in those 8 positions, drifting from the left, drifting from the right, is exceptional. And obviously having him behind him just offers that little bit of solidity because he is happy to snap back, get into the challenge. He knows he's got someone alongside him in Endo that is more than happy to do the dirty groundwork as well, get all those ground duels and really put the shift in for the team. So it was an exceptional performance, and I do think he will get a lot of shouts for your man of the match. Yeah, Dickie Red also says he oozes class. Patrick says return of the Mac. Where's that one? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And who have we got next? Szoboszlai. Yeah, I'm a little bit He was sound, don't get it twisted, he was sound. But again, you see highlights of him balling out for Hungary the other day. And I don't know whether it's a confidence thing or a full fitness thing with him at the moment, but he just seems to be a little bit below his usual standards, especially in a red shirt. I think we all know he started the season exceptionally well. We thought at one point he was going to be the difference maker for us a lot of the time in midfield. Today seemed like one of those games where if this was played at the start of the season, he would have grabbed it by the scruff of the neck himself and managed to pull the game away from Brighton. Today he just seemed to be on a little bit on the fringes of things. I think he kept the ball quite well, quite tidy. I think he's unlucky in terms of the connection he gets in the build-up to their first goal, but for the most part, I think he was just sound. I don't think I can rave on too much about Szoboszlai. I want to see more from him, especially coming into these run-ins now. He's a big game player. He's a captain of his country. He knows what it takes at the top end of Wales football now. He's in it. This is it. He's in the thick of it, so he's got to step up and perform. Moving on to our front three. Luis Diaz. Another one, contender for man of the match for me today. Absolutely bossed it. Really, really good. I thought he was very direct. I thought some of his final third passes were of a really good quality today. I thought he was looking for other players to bring them into play. His hold-up play on the ball. I thought it was probably one of his best rounded performances in a long time for me. When I say rounded as well, it's the output for me for Diaz. They're the metrics that I want to see more of, whether it's assists or goals. I need to see output for someone in his position with his prowess and his ability. He needs to be offering that to this side. And today, whether it would have been, could have set up Salah for a goal. He could have had 2 goals himself and bagged the brace had he not have been adjudged offside, quote unquote quotations. But I thought he was exceptional today. And for me, it's between these two. So you're going to have to duel it out between these two who could potentially be man of the match. Darwin Nunez. It's hard to say anything other than sound. I don't think we offered a lot of service to Nunez. That's probably the only drawback. And I probably think that's probably more down to Salah being a little bit wasteful on the ball. Probably Bradley not really getting him into the right spaces at times to kind of get Darwin in between the sticks in the box. And maybe a little bit of Diaz as well. But we've got to offer him more. There's got to be more service into him. Again, maybe even Szoboszlai, less than Diaz, but there's got to be service into this guy if he's going to do something. He's not the type of player that can pick the ball up 20, 30 yards away from goal and create a chance himself. Beat a couple of men and then stick it into the top of the bin. He's got to have the service, and I don't really think we did him much justice today. I think he was working hard. I think there was a couple of attempts or at times when he was defensively putting in a bit of a shift for us. He has got it, and today was probably slightly below the level, but I thought he was sound. I don't think there was any mistakes in his actual game, to be fair to him, so maybe I'm being a little bit critical. Surfers Willie says, Darwin was a messing. Sharon McNair says, Nunez not in his chaotic self, but still sound. Nunez too high, Errol. Oh, maybe the chat. Yeah, Free Django says Nunez wasn't his typical self and we didn't pass to him. Maybe. Darwin Salah, maybe. Yeah, Bradley keeps slipping. It's not intentional for Bradley to actually be there. Bradley was Salah, but he just keeps slipping down. Maybe. And finally, Mohammed Salah. Thought he was very, very wasteful at times today, I'll be so honest with you. Got him involved in the game so much. 7 shots in the first half already. Going into the second half, there was a lot of chance creation as well for him. And a couple of breakaways where you want Salah to be on the end of those breakaways and kind of put the game to bed. And he just didn't seem to have his most clinical shooting boots on today. But when it mattered most, he did find a way to get the 3 points for Liverpool. So it was a bit of a messy performance, but sound enough to just bring him up here in a bad way, because there was a lot about Salah's performance today where I was like, are you messing, Mo? Like, really? That's what you've done? And someone as talismanic as this really does need to step up in these type of games and put teams to the sword. But again, he scored the most goals in the Liverpool shirt against this Brighton outfit. So today, for me, it was just a sound performance. What's a little super chat there? Super chat for win. Come on, Reds. Great show, lads. Big up yourself. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Everything Gucci says, Salah is a high sound, but too wasteful. People saying he was boss. Mo sound on balance. Yeah, I think when you've got to deep it, you've got to kind of balance it out with the the wastefulness, but then when it comes to being clutch and getting us the all-important goal, it's that guy again. He steps up. So you've got to balance that. We get the 3 points. Without Salah's contribution, we don't get the 3 points. So I've got to put him in the mix for the side. Well, I'll be so honest. Yeah. Wow. If that's true, that's crazy. Don't forget that was Mo's first Prem start this year, and it's April tomorrow. Yeah, that's a mad stat there, I can't lie. All right, so we've done the 11s. We will get round to a couple of the subs as well before we do wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go for the ones that I think, again, just Gravenberch, sound. Gakpo, sound. Didn't really do much to note. Again, he only got a minute and a half. Gakpo, get on the fringes of the game, drives into the box when we probably don't need to at one point. But Elliot, again, I think quite an important time for us, really. Because what he was able to offer was to help out defensively just when we needed it, give a little bit of cover for Conor Bradley. I think they work well together as well in a little bit of a situation there on that right-hand side. Gets us up the pitch. Creates a little bit of a chance as well for us. Drives to the byline. I thought Elliot did really well there. And, ladies and gentlemen, get it in the chat now. Let me know, who is your man of the match, baby? Who is it? Can't be me. Can't be me. I can be an MVP, but I can't be your man of the match. Yeah, Rue says we can't judge Gakpo or Grav. This is very true. People saying Maka. Dickie Oy Red. Thank you for tuning in, Dickie Oy Red. People, Nigel says Diaz. I could have been persuaded for Diaz, but Dino saying Maka. Man of the match, Quansah, Maka and Endo. Who else have we got? The competition there, it's Maka, Endo. I think it is only right that Alexis Mac Allister gets man of the match, ladies and gentlemen. I genuinely do think he was the difference maker for us today at Liverpool, at Anfield, to beat Brighton 2-1, to apply pressure to Arsenal and City, to keep us 3 points at the top of the league. This has been your Player Ranking Show. I've been Errol Smith. This has been Redmen TV, and we will see you all again very, very soon. Ciao.
Thank you so very, very much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. The season is now well underway. If you need extra Redmen content, be it podcasts, videos, documentaries, interviews, and general shows, fill your boots on Redmen Plus.